A vending machine is designed to dispense a mean of 7.2 ounces of coffee into an 8-ounce cup. If the standard deviation of the amount of coffee dispensed is zero point 0.4 ounces and the amount is normally distributed, find the percent of times the machine will dispense less than 6.88 ounces. So to set this one up, because they tell us that we have a normal distribution of the data, then our goal is to be able to graph this data on a normal distribution curve where we put the mean in the middle. But first we have to make sure that we standardize the information so that we can plot the value on a z-axis. So first we look at a z-score, and we are looking at finding the percent of times the machine will dispense less than 6.88 ounces. And so we want to convert this value to a position on the z-axis. Is it above the mean or below the mean? And we want to standardize the score. Well, they tell us that the mean is 7.2 ounces of coffee, and 6.88 ounces would actually be below the mean somewhere. But the problem is we can't look up the value 6.88 in our table of values to determine the percent of area under the curve. So that's why we standardize it. First, we do the z-score formula. Z is your score x minus the mean, which can also be x bar or mu, divided by standard deviation, which is symbolized with sigma. So we take our value 6.88 and we subtract the mean, which is given to us above. So we have 6.88 minus the mean, which is given up here, 7.2, divide by standard deviation. So they tell you that standard deviation is 0.4 ounces. So 6.88 minus 7.2 is negative 0.32. We want to divide that by 0.4. That gives us negative 0.8. Our z table is set up where the values for z are calculated to the hundredths position. So our z value is negative 0.80. So what I can do with this now is I can go to my z-axis, and the position where the 6.88 ounces is now in the same position as my z value, negative 0.80, and I have my mean is standardized to a number line where the mean is 0. So now that I have the value negative 0.80 plotted, I'm going to take that position and go up to the curve, and I'm going to shade the area under the curve, and I'm looking for that direction word from the problem. So in the problem, they tell us that we're looking for less than 6.88 ounces. So that would be less than my z-score, negative 0.80. And the area under the curve, whatever percent this is going to be equivalent to this answer I'm searching for, the percent that's less than 6.88. So I need to look up my z. So I'm going to the negative z table, negative 0.80. So I'm going to bring that up right now. Okay, so here's my z-tables, and notice that the z-tables are set up where you have areas to the left of z whenever z is negative or positive. So I'm looking up negative 0.80 in my table. So as I go down this column here, negative 0.8 is right here, and my hundredths position is listed above here. So negative 0.80 is 0.2119. And so this is telling me that if I plot negative 0.80 on the number line and I want to go left, then the area to the left is 0.2199. So let's go back to my picture and put that in there. So this is 0.2119, which is equivalent to 21.19%. And that's the solution that we're looking for. The percent of times the machine will dispense less than 6.88 ounces is 21.19%.